Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Magic Arena Run. Today it's midweek magic and it's Explorer Showcase. We're actually right now looking at the decks that they're offering. Six different decks. Some of them are quite old with a few changes. Is it Phoenix, Mono Green Devotion. This one, despite the red pip, this one's actually Azorius Control for the most part. And some that are making some that are a bit more recent, Mono Black Demon version. This one, I believe, is mostly mono red. The black is just for Carousel Sword, Claim to Fame. Yep, getting these creatures back is kind of. Fatal Push seems to be a nod for the mirror matchup, I would say. And then we've had so many flavors of Greasefang. This one apparently is the Mardu version. Seems like yeah, Fear of Miss. Pretty much the red is used for Fear of Missing Out. Blood Tide Harvester, so as an additional way to get your cards in the yard, and Overlord of the Bailmerk pretty much doing most of the work. I will also notice no Stitcher suppliers, so you're not getting called out right away for this one. So we have six different decks to look at. Kind of hard to tell which deck is which because they all say Explorer and you can't read the rest. So we'll go through these decks really quickly. We'll start off with the Azorius Control deck. Interesting that a few interesting test changes I would say that they've done with this one is they've included a copy split up as a way of having a cheap board wipe. Two copies of Supreme Verdict. There's usually a few more of these. Farewell as a single flex pick. This one is generally better for the Explorer matchup, especially in best of one, because it's not guaranteed to have an all creature matchup. Sometimes you do need to exile all enchantments. Then pretty much counter spells all around. Single copy of Tree Steps Ahead to round it up a bit. There's usually more copies of Narset. This one's a bit simple, but there is a lot more. Instead of relying on reactionary counter spells, there's a lot more proactive removal in a sense. So we have March of Otherworldly Light, Portable Hole, a few copies of Get Lost. We have the Key to Fairy and Wandering Emperor. Usually we see more copies of these. I guess you can get away with more copies of these if you're running the Yorion version. So that one also tends to run what's that called again? Shark Typhoon. That tends to run that one as an additional finisher. So as far as land base, if you're wondering where the red for there is the High Noon. This is pretty much a nod against Izzet Phoenix. It's very annoying as an Izzet Phoenix player. I would say so. There is the red from Rogrin Triome, and there's only one Rogrin Triome here. You could name red with the Sunken Citadel. I guess for the most part it makes sense. You don't really need red anywhere else, and you don't need to have that much red. So this is kind of fine for the most part. Also Restless Anchorage and Hall's Storm Giants to round things off. Izzet Phoenix looking much in trouble, but otherwise this deck list is quite consistent. Sprite Dragon, I guess this one's a flex pick. I still prefer having Ledger Shredder, but this is the one that's available on the store. They have 4 copies of Artist Talent. Most decks I've seen have 2. Also, a bit of an interesting note here. You'd notice that this says that there are 3 rares that are missing from this deck. I know 2 of them are the Artist Talents. I think I have 2. I definitely have more than 2 copies of Prof. So one thing to be careful is how they line up the Spirebluff Canals here. That said, I'm pretty sure I'm probably missing one of these. So I'm not sure which version it is. But yeah, do check out if you can. Take a look at the deck list. You can easily find these deck lists online. Then build the deck list yourself first, then see if you can do it with all the cards there. Then if not, then you'll see cards that you actually are missing. Also, personally, I would run more copies of Storm Carved Post, but otherwise, this is pretty much expected. I personally would also run a few copies. I've been running it without Spell Pierce, mostly because I've been running into a lot of aggro decks. I guess I would probably cut some Artist Talent for that, but I guess the turn 2 artist talent is also quite important here. That said, I don't like the density. I really feel like the Ledger Shredders are kinda important. Having only 9 actual creatures that can hit back, 10 if you count Sokenzan, is a bit sketchy to be honest. Then here's the Mardu version of Greasefang. So 4 copies of Greasefang. No no copies of no copies of Stay Awake. I think I'm the 2 mana spell that gets this one back, so you really are stuck with these 4 copies. Also there's a copy of Nahiri. I don't understand why this is here. Like you could use it to get an artifact, but you'd still need to crew it. I guess Overlord is the one making up for Greasefang on the yard. Like this is the way to get Greasefang back. There's also Fear of Missing Out as a way to do early discard along with Bloodtide Harvester. Crocs as our alternate threat. Fable, usual good stuff. I'm still wondering if this is any better than the Absent version. The Absent version is the one I see the most. But I guess seeing a Mardu version, there's also the Esper version back in the day. Um, lots of ways to discard cards there. Then something else that's quite new. We have the Unstoppable Slasher, Bloodletter of Aklasot's combo, Invoke Despair in the top end, Unholy Annex as well. So pretty much a mono black true and true. No Shield Dread here because you don't really need it. And you're kind of drawing into it, so we got copies of Reckoner, Bankbuster there. They also Urborg Tomb of Yakmot added to the list, so all of a sudden running these colorless lands are not so bad anymore. Sunken Citadel, yeah, still making it okay. The Sunken Citadel kind of makes more sense if you're activating Castle Lockway and Hive of the Eye Tyrant. It also makes sense for the Azorius deck as well. We don't see that here because Nykthos kind of does it. Pretty much Leyline of the Guild Pack carrying the very quick mana, but otherwise almost everything here does mana as it does best. I stopped running this deck when Karn was removed from Explorer / Pioneer. Kinda, am I still enthused to run this one? I think I could still get around to playing this one. 8 elves is still an interesting start. No Wolf Trail. Instead, then we have Invasion of Ixalan. So you're definitely trying to skip from 1 to 3. You pretty much have a dead spot at 2, or you're gonna need multiple elves there. And finally, what makes this version more for Pioneer Explorer is some of the older pump spells. We have Infuriate instead. We still have Monstrous Rage. This one's way too good. Dread Moss R is also an additional good one for Trample. Fatal Push because sometimes you need to remove things from your opponent's side. KFK making its return after leaving Standard. Pretty much the Mice combo. Callous Sellsword on the top end as well. No red Leyline here, even though it's still valid, but looks like we're trying not to need it. Also note that the pump spells are not that many as well. We don't have the Turn Inside Out. We don't have Thelonious Rage. So this one can be a bit more creature centric. Yeah, the mouse combo helps with Valiant and Emberheart. Also Valiant on Heartfire Hero. And there we go. Those are our decks. I guess we'll start off with the right, and we'll start off with the more aggro one, and then go to the left, towards the left with control. I guess having High Noon is also a nod against the mono red aggro decks because they love playing multiple pump spells in a single turn. Being able to limit it is a very big. Okay, so Without knowing what our opponent's deck is, we definitely want to do turn 1 KFK. And we'll see what our opponent has. If I see black, I would not be that incentivized to... Okay, I see Mutavault that doesn't really do anything. So we are free to play turn 2 Slick Shot Show Off. Yes, you can activate it and make it into a creature, but it kinda doesn't really do anything. We'll see what our Also, I think we are using our norm. Yeah, I think our opponent just realized they made a mistake. Kind of going a bit aggro here. But since we see a Mutavault here, this could be mono black. This could still be mono black demons. Mutavault is run as an alternative demon there. We kind of need to have extra creatures or pump spells at this point. I think our opponent meant to play a swamp. If they did, I would have just played Bonastar with Swift Spear instead. And just gone for the basic beatdown. I think our opponent did make a mistake. Or might be somewhat distracted. It's also possible. Don't drink an arena, or maybe something going on at home. What is to say? Wait, it is at the time of this recording. It is December 25 where I am. December 24 for most of the world. So do. Okay, fatal push. Kinda expected. But opponent's still stranded in this one. I suspect this is the mono black list. Yeah, this is a very subpar hand of all things considered. We might be able to pick up a faint thing. We're not getting as much damage as we want. I think we kept the hand with way too many lands. And then just right away. I know our opponent can't really do anything about it. Just try to get the damage through. It's a shame we don't have the Callous Sellsword for the additional damage part. We're kind of hoping that Fatal Push can... But most likely our opponent's next place an Unstoppable Slasher. So we'll be giving up a creature to make this one work. That's 7 damage. We'll go for it. We do run the same problems as the versions in Standard. Like if you... And we did not even get the mouse package here. Unstoppable Slasher. Expected. So we're kind of stalled out for a while. There's a Ramanap Ruin. So what I will most likely do is I'll probably just, if our opponent plays Bloodletter, I would just chump block with Swift Spear, then nuke the Bloodletter with a Fatal Push. No, I'm just going for a Slasher too. Also, I need to do a check. Dealt damage by source you control would die, exile it instead. So the sequence is off here. It's not. So it's not going to get the exile part because... No, it will get the exile part if I give up both of these. Which is a big feel bad here because we do need... In fact, so I'm actually going to just take it. This is just going to be... It's going to take my life down quite a lot. It'll take me down to 9. It's... we'll see how our opponent decides to block. Yeah, we're kind of giving up on this one. We didn't have an aggro enough hand. I did feel like that there were not enough creatures in the. I'm gonna test this out, but oh no, it will work. It will exile it, but we still have another one that's unaccounted for. And I have no way of dealing direct damage. If our opponent just plays a Bloodletter now, it's over. Our opponent could also just play Unholy Annex, just drop a demon. That would also be very good. They had some combo there. So we did keep a hand that had very not enough action. We drew too many lands. Actually, let's do a check on how many lands the deck has. I feel like there should only be about 20 something here. If this has the full 24 lands, there should only be like 20 lands. That's correct. It's a flat 20. We just had we just were a bit unfortunate there. I'd still give it another go. That was a relatively fast round. We kind of got greedy in that one, but yeah, because we knew we just had to go back for a Bloodletter, but we're kind of running out of time on that one. This one is much better for us. Emberheart Challenger. Only playing green, so we're gonna see if this is fast enough. So next turn I could do Manifold now, but just to look at another card, I'm more likely to just double Monstrous Rage whatever our opponent has. Outcaster Trailblazer into another Elf, I suspect. Also not liking the lag here. Yeah, no. Our opponent lets this go, I'm just gonna play Monstrous Rage. I'm just gonna play Monstrous Rage on this, then just drop a Heartfire Hero. Because I need to... Yep, that's what I needed. Technically, I could have gone for the win already. What I would have done is played the other one that would bring it to 8, then I would have done Callous Sellsword. So I just play the Manifold now. And we'll see if our opponent has. They're playing Leyline of the Guild Pack, which is so unnecessary. Swinging with the Outcast Trailblazer, also unnecessary. So I'm gonna pick it. Let's see, I need double red, so we can take KFK. Prowess is it won't let you choose Trample. So 4, 8, yeah, that's enough. Let's rub it in a little bit. Unfortunately, and that's actually enough damage. Opponent should not have attacked with the Trailblazer. But that is what the combo is. We really could have won earlier. We just stacked another. I wasn't too committed to it yet because I wasn't sure I was gonna hit the land. Oh. But that is how it was supposed to go. So that lets us try another deck here. Let's getting more gems out. Let's try the elf deck. Good, yeah, right next in line, Explorer deck. So this one we need our own quick start. We also want we would prefer to have our ley line also. It's gonna feel so bad that when the ley line is there just to provide 4 green pips. But yeah, our opponent, it definitely wants that turn 3 play. So the ley line is a plus, especially if you have Nikos in hand already. Ideally, you want to have 1 or 2 elves in hand, so this one is fine. Hydra elf, Hydra. I'll probably do Hydra Kiora. Also, the lairs are super important here. This is a bit, you're gonna generate a lot of mana. This is a big mana sink. No built-in trample, but okay. Let's see. I see a Den of the Bugbear. This could be. But this is the deck we're going up against already, so we should see. Double elf is good. We will probably be forced to play Polukranos next turn just to have a blocker. So it's a bit of a sequence break. Alternately, we can go Lair, Kiora, untap, play Elvish Mystic. So that could be our alternate plan. Infuriate, a bit too early. Well, I am not gonna block it in any case. It's a question of what do I do next. So, Outcaster Trailblazer. I really want to play Blue Chronos with 5 toughness. But getting the free mana for Elvish Mystic helps. So next turn we will have at least 4 mana up. I will probably give Trailblazer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can do Kiora into Polukranos. We kind of need some top end to help us here. Opponent should show us another one. I might actually be. Oh, Heartfire Hero, that's not gonna do it. In fact, our opponent probably knows we will block. Yeah, that's like we can do
it. Bet you've never been hugged by a kraken before. Let's get moving.
Yeah, I could use the card. Use the card draw. In fact, we get double the card draw too. And definitely holding back. We are in blocker territory, and as long as we're able to keep dropping creatures, we have an advantage. Heck, Storm the Festival next turn would be fine, even if it just nets us a land. If I could flip this, this would be super annoying for our opponent. If we can hit the Nick toss, it's so tempting to just play ley line, untap one land, tap, then tap Nick toss and let the fun begin. That's like 7, 8 9. One is gonna fatal push, so we're gonna start dropping our creatures a bit. Yeah, I think the Monstrous Rage was a big mistake. If you're not gonna commit to attacking. Yeah, it's all okay. Looks like they're committed to that. Now I could have done it in reverse to save the 1 damage. That's a bit of a mistake on our part.
smells fishy
but
here.
it's just on Kiora. Did not need the second ley line. Let's draw some cards. Let's draw a card. Land. And tap another land.
I love
Go
to make a splash.
Go Ixalan. We are looking for Nykthos. Upcaster Trailblazer is fine too. Old Growth Troll is also fine as well as on the cheaper end. I guess we go Upcaster Trailblazer. And actually no, we'll preserve. No need to go for our opponent yet. Want another card? So we now have the 6 mana for Storm the Festival. And our opponent, yeah, ran out of gas really quickly. They did make a mistake with them. Now that said, it's not out of the woods yet. Our opponent could just pump the Heartfire Hero, then go for Callous Sellsword. So we do need to start swinging soon. The claim does give them a lot of extra reach, if I would say so. So this one only hits the opponent, but I am super incentivized to let that happen. And this has trample, but you can preserve one. And you know what? To preserve our life total. So this is 6. Yeah, we're just preserving our life total.
Nature flows with vigor.
Set our opponent back a bit. We'll probably lose Kiora, but at this point we'll probably just be playing Trailblazer. Well, if we can play Cavalier. Opponent plays Callous Sellsword, yeah, their sequence is really broken at this point. There we go. Opponent concedes already at that point. That was already pretty much overwhelming. So yeah, it does have some. It still has legs. It is very vulnerable to in the very first few turns. So you pretty much want to have disruption and whatnot, but otherwise, blasphemous edict. But otherwise, you can get your way with it. Speaking of which, let's go to the deck that beat us the first time. So let's take a look at the Mono Black Demons deck. Your critical turns are turn 3 and turn 4, so you're using your turn 1 and turn 2 to not die or to make sure the coast is clear. If you can get your turn 3, turn 4 play, you're pretty much solid. The question is always is it right to play Unholy Annex on turn 3 when you don't have a demon yet? The card draw is really important. Sometimes you can. So we're definitely keeping this. We'll go Swamp into Duress. Take a look what our opponent has. Opponent is playing the Bailmerk deck, and we just helped our opponent. So so I would have much preferred Thoughtseize in that stead. We know our opponent is gonna toss these our unstoppable slasher, so this is pretty much a lot. At least we got spares. Opponent could probably go for Kroxa. I'm seeing their sources all have black, so no point. I might still play the Urberg. So if they go Kroxa, I will pitch Mutavault. They're gonna go Overlord instead. That's fine. So Momo and I'm gonna play the Unstoppable Slasher. Opponent probably if they play Croxa, I will discard. We're not keeping them out of white and black anytime soon. So I would just pitch Field of Ruin. I'd keep the Mutable. If they go for FOMO, the only creature that can tangle with this is the Bloodrite Harvester, so I'm hoping to have more removal before I swing with Unstoppable Slasher. Because the awkward thing with Unstoppable Slasher is that, yeah, it's half rounded up, but it's not going to kill by itself. So I'm hoping to hit another removal spell so I can take out the Harvester and still have go for the inevitable Greasefang coming soon. Yeah, they're digging for it, so we're not finding it though. I'm basically tempting them with this one, so get rid of the take out the one creature that can trade with Unstoppable Slasher. Sure, it can come back in 2 turns, but I don't think we have 2 turns. We're gonna Thoughtseize, yeah, so there goes our removal. So that's the one thing we can't exactly defend from. So if they have Greasefang right now, that's over. No, just fear of missing out, so we can swing through that. But we need to hit another removal spell if we're playing defense. Thoughtseize. You just saw my hand. Sure, if you say so. Yeah, Overload. Yep, that was a moment. Now I could play this one. Yeah, opponent's gonna just chump block. That makes sense. They're just buying time here. I don't see the point of pitching Croxa. I want, if they have it, I need them to work for it. If they have the Greasefang, it's just over for us. They pretty much picked apart our removal. Okay, they don't have the Greasefang. So I might just pitch the Thoughtseize here. So we're gonna seat again next turn. So we can take him down to 6. Actually, no, they had the Fatal Push. Well, so it's not like we're gonna respond with it anyway. So pitching the Thoughtseize was correct. Okay, at least we get to refill our hand a bit. So if our opponent replays this, I will probably just pitch Unholy Annex because we're gonna just draw more cards. Yeah, they're gonna replay it. They don't have the Greasefang yet. force another slasher, but we are gonna keep invoking despair. However, our card in the opponent's hand could be a problem. Let's take a look if they have it already. No, it's just a Thoughtseize, we get to take it. Now, they do get to play it over again, so we do lose this unstoppable slasher. That said, I can swing with this Immutable. They will be forced to, yeah, they're out. They're gonna have to start emptying this a bit. Invoke Despair, still invoking Despair. I like it. They left behind the two party events, which makes sense. Yeah, we're just flooding really bad here. Yeah, that's the correct block. There's no way they're not blocking it the other way. So it's now a question of can I get them to the last. Now it's a question, do they have the Grease Fang or not? Because this is not a demon, which is a problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I drew an Unholy Annex, I wouldn't be able to play it out. Also, I know the deck list only has one Croxa. That's something I should hope the opponent is holding back. Oh, we're just flooding really hard here. I suspect our opponent has removal. I need to force them to use it. Or they don't have the removal. I suspect what they could have had the Thoughtseize in hand. That would have also killed them. That makes sense for not playing it. But yeah, if you have a chance to win right there, you probably should. Whale of the Forgotten. I forgot that this card existed. Is there any reason to remember this card existed? Not really. Forgettable. So far, these decks are looking great. Now let's... Well, just right. We now get to try the opponent's... The Mardu deck. Still question mark on the Nahiri. I don't feel this is needed. Vehicles are correct. Sounds correct. I feel like it could use more interaction. Like Stitcher Supplier is still kind of important, if I may say so. So definitely keeping this. Okay, we'll see if Nahiri is actually good. Might as well play this first. I'll be a bit miffed if I drew another fast land. Ooh, blue. So this one is the Phoenix deck. It's critical to get some damage early, though. We'll see if our opponent plays a red source. Should be quite easy for them. They might just have a burn spell for this. Oh, but having to give up a pathway for red, kind of telling. So we definitely will. Nope, one concedes. Looks like they didn't have it. I was debating whether to Thoughtseize them or just play Fable with the Mirror Breaker out. We'll probably try this. We got the win, but we'll try this again if we have time. I did give the other deck a shot. Let's give this one a shot again. Sure, why not? It's only 2 more decks to go, and I could make this a longer episode. So Fatal Push. Bitter Triumph to help discard, and yeah, we're keeping. keeping this one for sure. So opponent leading on no. So next turn we can just fatal push it. Okay, or next turn. So next turn we will most likely just Thoughtseize our opponent and hold up fatal. So Thoughtseize, we're gonna see if there are any trolls in hand. It digs for another invasion of Ixalan. I'm gonna take this one because our opponent will most likely just play. This is me hoping they did not draw the troll. We're just drawing all our removal here. So if our opponent goes land Aura, okay, fine time.
Sun in the sky, brine on my skin. Great day to fight.
I will be giving them another card, but the oddity is the
One drop
right now.
ripples and grows.
So I have to let it go. Also because I don't have the guaranteed removal for this one. Now it's a feel bad if it turns out our opponent has another land. Nope, Elvish Mystic's fine. Which means they're going to go for the untap.
The ocean surges,
They're gonna play the
life thrives.
Openwald Oddity. They do get to draw a card. And we might as well take out the elf. Now that doesn't, but we are flooding really. Okay, well, they're missing art out. Okay, I'm kind of fine with that. But oh, opponent played the Mystic first. That is not right. You're supposed to go for Storm.
Let's get moving. Now I'm salty.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to prevent the. Okay, we are blocking that. Yeah, we can't exactly prevent it. I'll play Fable. I'm gonna hold on to Godless Shrine so that I have a card. So that I have a card to pitch. Give us ourselves an additional draw. Yeah, our opponent kind of. They could have played this. Oh, they still haven't figured it out. Okay. I feel so bad for the opponent. They don't know about the interaction. So we're gonna actually do it here.
Well, this sucks.
Yeah, let's close that loop. Yeah, so our opponent did not know you can do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I can get a free attack for 8, I would, but I would not be having enough for crew. So I will need to decide if I want to pitch this Parhelion. Oh, our opponent doesn't know the interaction. You can tap the land for mana manually, then untap with that. You would have had your mana for it. They do have an old road troll, so that. So we're not gonna crack this right away, but what we can do is we can shrink the troll, then attack. You know what? First thing I'm gonna do is close this loop right away. We're gonna. Ooh, this is Cavalier's also a problem. 5, 6. So I need to untap this one for to give myself 7. That might convince our opponent to just block this one. Yeah. No, they're blocking that one. Okay. And attack with this one. Yeah, we're gonna end up hard casting this. Let's see if they. And if our opponent doesn't have remove. Oh, they did not. They never figured out the interaction. Okay. Now this does have reach, but this is still a 5/5. So what I could do is I could shrink the Cavalier. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna shrink the Cavalier first. We're going up on the air. But yeah, it looks like our opponent made a few mistakes along the way. So remember, we need these creatures, so we're which is a bit of a okay, opponent going for it, but it has summoning sickness, so it doesn't work that way. This is 4 to cruise, so that's unfortunately both of these. Oh yeah, I also made the same mistake. But it's on the board, and yeah, one is gonna try to go for these now. They don't have... Yeah? Yeah, they need green, right? That should be 5 man. Oh, this is 7, okay. No, it's 12 mana. So they can untap, go for this again. Yeah, they should go for it again. In fact, we did make a critical mistake. They could kill us right here. I keep forgetting that this is not Greasefang. We should not have activated this. Let's see if they figure it out. Oh, they had to Boseiju. Yeah, we'll search for land. Maybe we do hit an... Maybe we do hit a Kiba for reals. So
one drop.
No, I think that's in. Let's see if they figure it out. I think they figure it out. They go greedy with the storm. No, they're. Let's see. Yeah, we made the same mistake. The correct play was to just tilt Blood-Tide Harvesters, sneak out an Old Growth Roll. Yeah, that's enough damage. We goofed up that one too. Well, at least it goes to show that I don't normally play the Greasefang deck. So second time around, we could have bought ourselves a little bit of time. Yeah, what we could have done is held back, used to make a token, then just block. Then block the incoming Hydra. Anyway, so now we're gonna go check the Explorer deck. No one's played the Control deck, oddly enough. The Absent deck is slightly better in the sense that hard casting an Esca's Chariot is not the worst thing to do. Okay, so Spell Pierce. Yeah, this is where you want Ledger Shredder. You can't just rely on Lightning Axe to discard the Arclight Phoenix. And the Sprite Dragon is so pitiful. And well, I guess it's fine if you can get it down on turn 2, but it's kind of a dead draw anywhere else. Because there's a chance of Yora, but this is most likely going to be this is gonna most likely be it's a flop. I'll consider that. I don't need another treasure. Hey, we now get to experiment with the Sprite Dragon. I'm probably still gonna hold it back. There was the argument for just going Sprite Dragon because the next play was probably not gonna be counterable. Yeah. And we completely whiffed. Those were all. Yeah, if when it goes, it really gets going. We don't have a chance with this one. Not sure if I want to gift this one. We might have had a better chance if we were able to take out the turn 1 elf. It would have bought, but buying that extra turn really means a lot. Let's see how much time. Yeah, we're close to the hour. We have one more deck to try. Sad to say that and this one tends to be a long one. Sad to say that is it Phoenix is still high up in the Pioneer list in terms. Like, I'm gonna do a quick check on what's up in Pioneer now. Top decks as of 2024. Phoenix actually gaining. Although the thing of note is that meta share is kind of all over the place. Like, it's up there, just not that high up there. We'll definitely keep this one. Yeah, we're kind of behind here, so we have to give up a no more lies just to take this one out. Kind of excessive, but knowing that our opponent's turn 2, we need to buy time to be able to play no more lies, so that's fine. Opponent's just leading on multiple elves, so we might have bought the time we needed. We would like to hit the board sweeper here, so the deuce would be nice at times, but depending what our opponent plays, we might have to just counter something. Control, yeah, that's a definite counter. And nice thing is get exiled, so we're never seeing it again. Counter spells are going to be quite important here for us. We're probably not going to be able to do the draw 2 card. Okay, there's our farewell, so we'll still have opponent's gonna play Trailblazer. We'll see what our opponent's next drop is. I would like to play Wandering Emperor, but that might have to wait a bit. 6 mana could be Storm, in which case that's an auto counter. And the not Unwalled Oddity, so the reason we're not countering it is because we do get to Wandering Emperor instead. We also knowing that we are 1 mana away from a board wipe. Yeah, they had to go for it. There's really no reason not to.
But I'm going to end it. I am almost sad to see you go.
We will probably lose the Wandering Emperor as a result. Or not. Supreme Verdict does go through the deck as well. Now they could just have another Oddity, which would be annoying, but
Show them how we greet our enemies.
another invasion of Ixalan. Opponent's really gonna invade Ixalan, I suppose. helpful, so... Yeah, actually I want to do this one here. No, because the next threat we're probably gonna counter, so... Let's make a samurai, start threatening the
Let
board.
your blade do
We
the
can
talking.
we can get lost if needed, or 3 steps ahead if needed, depending what the next counter is. This. Yeah, throwing a lot of hands here. So when is it?
Remember your training.
So we still have to get lost. We still have the 2 token, which I want to crack right away. Have the horns. Yeah, that's just... Yeah, we're destroying a lot of lands here, but that's kind of expected. So we'll see what our opponent hits. The trick. What we want now is that we want to be able to convince our opponent to play out the rest of their cards so that we can just farewell. So our opponent has enough mana to just some storm again, so that might be an issue. I am willing to just put another counter here. One is really deciding hard what to do next. I also want to have enough mana to hold up a 7/7 if needed. I would say get the cab again. Sure, it depends on creatures ETBing. Yeah, I would just get a cab again, try to get another reroll. Now the mono green deck has the issue of their interaction being just procedure endures. They don't really have anything like fight spells or whatnot, so I know, and the only thing that they can pressure me with is their creatures. Actually, I'm wondering what our opponent plays Cav. They kind of have to. They need the creature. What exactly were they hoping to hit? I would say what they're hoping to hit is another storm. But honestly, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah, they're 1 mana short. They would not have been able to play this one. Yeah, I'm not surprised our opponent pretty much left at this point. So yeah, I guess I would close the game at this point. I'm probably not gonna try the Izzet Phoenix deck again, mostly because it's not that it doesn't feel so well positioned now. Especially, I don't like this version in particular. The ledger shredders are super important for me. So not yeah, when it's up. So I'm not gonna even dignify to get lost.
We've got the edge in this fight.
I want to see if they show up again. Like if they show up again, I can just drop the get lost. This one's just pretty much I could also just do the farewell, though farewell does not hit battle, so I probably want to hold up 1 more mana. So when I cast farewell, I would also have the hand. I would also be able to get lost the... Oh no, they don't have the lair yet. Okay. So we no need to. Yeah, it looks like our opponent actually did win. It is what it is. Yep. So you're gonna probably see a lot of mono green. I kind of understand. We did see a bit of every deck except the control deck. I would say the control deck. If it doesn't get run over right away, it can. It does a good job against the. It does a good job against the other decks. That's. I guess let's call it on a high note. That's gonna be it for this episode, Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notifications and whatnot. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are, and have a great year, everyone, and a great year to come.